There's some basic things you want to bring to any interview, and some of them may seem pretty obvious actually. One is your resume or CV. Depending on which part of the world you're from, you use resumes or you use CVs. So use whatever you use in your culture or your part of the world. Obviously, you want to bring those because you want to have them handy, and maybe you might have multiple interviews. You want to have a hard copy of those ready to hand out at any moment. In addition, if you have a printout of the job application, just to kind of refresh yourself, some things they might ask on the job application or the job description too as well, and bring your own references too. Have a reference sheet. You can always send the references off later. A lot of times they ask for it, but it's nice to be prepared and have it right there, especially if you move quickly along in a particular interview process. If you have some letters of recommendation, those are some nice things to bring as well. Anything that helps promote you that you can leave behind is always a good thing. Also, if you're in a type of business where you might have some work examples or a portfolio, let's say if you're an artist or somebody or an architect and you have some work samples you want to share, or maybe even within a computer program or other types of things, some samples of the work that you've done, you can always leave them with the interviewers too and have those ready to reference as well. Contact names, who you're going to be talking with that day, who you've talked with in the past, so you have that all fresh in your mind and written down, and you have that with you as well. Write down questions you may want to ask, just to keep it fresh in your mind. You're not necessarily going to pull out a piece of paper with your list of questions. You want to memorize at least a couple of them, or ask things that happen during the interview that just spark your curiosity. But it's another thing good to have while you're in the waiting area and you're waiting to be interviewed. You can kind of review the questions that you might want to ask. Also, basic thing, bring pens. Not just one pen, but a couple of pens in case one runs out of ink. Paper, too, in a portfolio, and like a nice leather portfolio or some type of bound thing that's a nice professional way that keeps pens, paper, and where you can take some notes. Bring your cell phone, so if you get lost or your car breaks down, you have a way to communicate. However, you really want to remember to turn off your cell phone when you're during the interview, or certainly silence it so it doesn't ring in the middle of the interview. That's always a bad thing. Another thing you want to bring to an interview, if you're doing a face-to-face interview, is the directions to the interview spot. It's easy to forget, but bring a hard copy of your directions. Who knows? Once again, if you rely on technology with a GPS or whatever, maybe it directs you to the wrong spot, or you can't get a connection to a satellite. Things happen. Bring a hard copy as well. Lastly, bring some identification as well, too. Usually carry identification with you at all times, but if you do carry something with you in case things go real well, you get a job offer, maybe accept it right there, and you can start doing some paperwork. You'll need your ID, depending on the rules of your company, where you live in the world, as far as what you need for processing for a job applicant. Some need more than others as far as different laws that you might encounter. So bring your identification. These are all just kind of a checklist of things to remember. Those are kind of required ones. A couple kind of optional ones would be like a laptop or tablet you could bring as well, especially if you might be asked to demonstrate something or you want to show something. Maybe you want to show some pictures or some images of some of your portfolio or things on an electronic device. You could bring your laptop at that point. You usually don't want to be carrying too many things, like if you carry a purse and a laptop bag and a portfolio, it just gets all jumbled. Less is more generally, but if you think you might be demonstrating something or you want to, bring that with you as well, like a laptop or tablet. Cough drops is a good thing too, especially if you have a cold or a tickle in your throat. You could even throw some water in your bag as well, or something right before you go on an interview or go into the office, just to kind of lubricate your vocal cords. Medication, like headache medication, or if you have any medication you take, don't forget that. And a list of key things you want to talk about is always good to have written down, or just a refresher. Once again, while you're waiting, you can say, I want to make sure I mention this. I really want to mention that. And then lastly, bring your own enthusiasm. You're excited about the interview, and smile and all those kind of things, as far as just one last little thing to bring to the interview too. But if you bring these things, you'll be prepared in almost 99% of the cases, and you'll look very professional and prepared as you do, and it really help you to be more relaxed for your interview, knowing that you've got everything you need to bring to the interview.